Hello, this is Dan Richardson here again at the Chapel of the North Hills. We're inviting you to continue reading the Bible every day for 40 days. And in this 40-day stretch, we are concentrating on verses of the Bible that every Christian should know by heart. So here we are on day 7, and I'd like us to think about Proverbs 1:7, which says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction." Well, this great verse, being close to the very front of the book of Proverbs, gives us insight into the rest of the book. Proverbs is in a section of the book of the Bible which is called poetry, but perhaps more accurately, we could think of it as books of wisdom, wisdom literature. These 5 books that are right in the middle of the Old Testament, which is Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon, those are known as the wisdom literature. And as we read and we meditate on these books in particular, we can learn how to shape our lives in very practical ways around the very nature and character of God. We learn the essence of making good choices, which is wisdom. So the first and most important lesson for anyone to learn is to know God and to give Him proper respect and worship. The Old Testament describes this as the fear of the Lord. Confusion kind of arises on our end as English readers because we separate the concepts of fear and reverence. In Hebrew, which is the language of the Old Testament, these are the same word. We can easily imagine how these two ideas share a common ground. Now, we're not supposed to be so scared of God that we don't approach Him, so scared that we keep our distance. Neither should we be so unaware of His holiness that we are no longer in awe of His presence. Like C.S. Lewis wrote in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Mr. Beaver was trying to describe Aslan to the Pevensey children, and he said, "Good, safe. Is he safe? Well, of course he isn't safe, but he's good. He isn't safe, but he is good. He is still to be honored and respected with a tinge of that fear, but also he is good." So the concept of the fool is also very prominent as we read the book of Proverbs. 5 different varieties of fools are described throughout the rest of the book, but they all have one common denominator. All fools despise wisdom and instruction. They never want to be told anything. Well, our God is the God of all wisdom, and He is continually giving us instructions. So let us have the Spirit to listen to His voice and absorb His ways, beginning by awarding Him proper worship. Be blessed.